Welcome back, everyone. What an amazing day we are having. Our next guest is Joy Weston. Sandy is a keynote speaker, podcaster, 3 times published author, and entrepreneur who has owned and operated health and wellness companies for over 30 years. Early in her career, she became the first female trainer for the Philadelphia Flyers and spent many years as a media personality and as Philadelphia NBC's fitness expert. Sandy has been focusing on SJW Productions, an international company whose main mission is to highlight all the positive, powerful people in the world. She does this through her speaking engagements, podcasts, her books, Train Your Head and Your Body Will Follow, the 30-day Reset Journal, her latest journal for kids called Recess to Reset, and her coaching and workshops. Sandy's mission is to spread pure joy and inspire others to see their true power. Welcome, Sandy. Thank you so much for being today with me. The floor is
going to be fun. I love this.
I am really looking forward to learn more from your topic, and because your topic is life doesn't happen to you, you happen to life.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Yeah, recently, I just graduated from a course called Heroic Public Speaking, and it was a 7-month course to take your keynote to the next level. And I thought, I've been speaking for years. This is going to be so easy for me. But it was the most rewarding and challenging thing at the same time, because it caused me to go really deep into myself and my belief system, and also challenge my belief system. Did I really embody it? Why did I have these ideas? And at the same time, tell a little bit about my childhood and growing up, which I had never done. But at the end of the 7 months, what I realized is the path I was on was so meant for me. And that the only thing I wanted to do now is take everything that I was embodying at this minute and bring it to the next level to show others how truly powerful they are. I think we forget sometimes that we really have the ability to tap in to this unique gifts that are inside us. Yes, we have coaches and we have trainers and mentors that guide us and we can learn from. But what I want to show today is that really they're brought in your life exactly when you need them. And that what I want is for everybody to realize that they can, in just a few minutes every day, tap into this amazing power that comes from love, peace, and joy. So that's why my mission has always been to spread pure joy, and fitness was the vehicle. So we're going to back up a little bit. Growing up, I was always told all the reasons why things couldn't happen for me. I grew up in the projects, and my mother, God rest her soul, spent about 50% of her life in mental institutions, and they weren't well-funded ones. So the odds were really against me. And very well-meaning people, let's just say well-meaning, would tell me, Sandy, don't act a certain way. That's not how you're going to get ahead. And don't get your hopes up too high, because really you should just be happy, nothing wrong with that, to graduate high school and be a waitress, which is fine. But I would always think to myself, but I got bigger plans. I have things I want to do. And I remember so clear when I was 9 years old, sitting on one of those park benches in the projects, hanging out, and some woman who said she was a fortune teller read my palm, and I'm 9 years old, and she says, "Oh, you are going to have a very, very short life." And I was like, "I am? Oh yeah, you don't have long." And I'm thinking, but I have a lot to do. Are you sure? Now, I don't think she was a palm reader. I'm sure she was on other things, but at the time I thought, oh my gosh, I got to get busy here because I have a lot that I want to do in life. There's people I want to impact. Even at the age of 8 or 9, whatever it is, I knew there was more for my life. So that day, I said, I don't want to do drugs. I get why they're doing it, but I better come up with a plan. And so I sat there and I was like, okay, I need some kind of divine intervention. I need to figure out what's going on here. And what came to me is my dance, my movement was a big gift to me. I've been dancing since I was 4. I bribed my uncle to pay for dance lessons. And I decided every day, no matter what, I was going to move or dance, and that would make me feel good. The second thing that I came up with is I would focus in on a word, just one word. And I told myself, no matter what was going on, if I picked one word that day that made me feel good, and I focused in on it, that's where I would tell myself, if I wasn't feeling that way, what could I do right now to get there? So it could have been joy, love, fun, ease and flow, power, courage. But I would just pick one word and I could see them and I would place stickums all over my room. So I would take one word, I would move even just for a few minutes to get myself out of this crazy environment and really picture where I wanted to go. And someday, if things would get really bad, I would journal. I would take my words, and that's why I created all these, and I would just write. I would call it at the time scribble scrabble. And part of it was to get all the stuff out of my head, like all the negative chatter. And then I would pick, that word again, put it at the top. I put a big X through all that stuff.
Me, Sandy?
Yeah.
Today
Hello?
we are having internet issues, apparently. You are back. We lost you for a second.
Oh my goodness. So I think I'll start with the journal. Okay. So I would take the words, you let me know. You can just give me a high five if it goes, the internet goes well. But I would take my words then, if it was a tough day, and I would journal. I would call it the brain drain. And I would just get all the negative stuff out of my head that I was telling myself or people would tell me. And then I would put a big X in it. And then I would start writing, well, what do I think about this? How could I get there? How could I start shifting the stories? Now, I started this as a kid, and as I went through age, the journaling and the stories changed. But words and movement were a huge part. And then the third thing was laughter. I always would look at things in a light way. I could spin it and make it a fun, positive thing. Now, words, movement, and laughter were what saved me and got me where I wanted to go, beyond where I thought I was going to go. I mean, my life is incredible, not perfect, but incredible. I had no idea I was going to make a career out of it. I just knew that when I moved, focused in on a word, and laughed and was silly and entertained myself or others, I knew that I felt good. My career path taking off, and I ended up, like I said, I'd been dancing, so I was a dance major. I didn't end up going on Broadway like I hoped, but I put dance inside of health and fitness, and I ended up, was a dance concentration in health and fitness here in the United States in Pennsylvania. And then I taught classes, and that led me to people saying, well, will you train me in your home? And at the time, there weren't trainers back then, but I was like, okay. And that allowed me to meet the most amazing people in the Pennsylvania, Philadelphia area who knew that my whole goal was just to help them. So when people say, how do you think you got so far? And why were they so willing to help you? It's because all I cared about was them. I wasn't trying to get anything from them. I was there to serve them and tune in to what made them tick so I could reach their goal. And because of that, they wanted to do everything for me. I mean, it was crazy. I felt like I was like Philadelphia's favorite daughter. I mean, so many people had my back. And after training for years and building a training company, then somebody said, oh, you should open a health club. Now, keep in mind, I was just thinking, I love what I do. I'm going to be a dancer. I'm going to open a dance studio. Never knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. And I did waitress for years because it made lots of money. But there I am, training company. Okay, someone's going to back me to open up clubs. And then it led to another one and another one. Words, movement, and laughter. I cannot believe that took me there and beyond. And what I didn't realize I was teaching it to all my clients. Like I was putting it in to find out how I could shift their energy. Now, fast forward, my clubs are open now for 10 years. And my staff is like, Sandy, you should write a book. You should write a book. I'm like, I'm not a writer. No, about your stories, about your journey. And I thought, well, what do I want to put out in the world? Well, it's always been about spreading pure joy. Is there something I could do to teach people how to get into that positive, powerful mindset? Could you transfer this to others? I didn't know. Maybe, maybe not. So I took a year and I studied people, 100 people for 1 year that I believed exuded pure joy. All walks of life, men, women, athletes, CEOs, moms, it didn't matter. I wanted to see if there was something that they had in common. What was it about them? And I bribed them. I'd say, you could get a free membership to the gym for a year, or I would train you. So they're like, okay, that sounds cool. So for 1 year, I studied them 2 hours at a time. They were like, oh my gosh, Weston. But after a year, I couldn't figure out what was something in common. And I'm sitting there and my colleague said, oh, Sandy, don't you see it? I'm like, no. She's like, it's right here on the paper. I go, what? She's like, here's your secret sauce. You want to know what it was? Of course you do. Wow. Every single one of these people, no matter how much time or what they did, every single one of these people did something in the morning to get them in that positive, powerful mindset. It could have been a few minutes, or it could have been an hour or two, but they did not start their day without doing something that got that in that powerful mindset. Yes, some of them worked out, meditated, wrote in their journals. Others made muffins, played jazz music, took a walk with their dog, pet their cat, made lists. It didn't matter. It wasn't what they did. It was the consistency. And there was my aha moment. They weren't just coming out the door and letting life bounce them around with everything and going, oh my God, I hope I don't hit traffic. Will my spouse take out the trash? Oh, am I going to hit the train? Is it going to rain? Or are my kids going to get on the bus? Yes, those things happened. And yes, it does affect you. But more importantly, life wasn't going to happen to them. They were going to happen to life. And the most important thing for them, whether it was a couple minutes or hours, was getting them in that headspace. And these were all different walks of life, all different backgrounds, all different religion. It didn't matter. So then I spent another year and I gathered up the powers to be, I called them. And it was everything from gurus and spiritual leaders, positive psychologists, therapists, cognitive behaviorists, neuroscientists, nutritionists, fitness coach, you name it. And one of my gyms in Philadelphia had a big room that I could gather them. And I would tell them my theory, like I wanted to create something, a guidebook, a journal. And they would argue. Most of the times I didn't even understand what they were saying. But finally they're like, Weston, you're on to something. Okay, so let's create something that only takes a few minutes. We'll have a word, one word they focus on that they pick every day, a power statement, and then a game plan. And it's, simple. People do have set goals, but it was a game plan. And goal for making sure it was a realistic goal that they could reach easily within the next 30 days, the action they were willing to take, what really motivated them, what was their true motivation, why did they want it, and how much energy they were going to put through it, and a few other things that they would just rate. And I went out now another year and I picked 100 people that I thought were highly motivated, because they worked out at the gym 3 times a week. And I said, we're going to pick one area of your life that you want to up level or causing you anxiety. And I had them pick one of 3 areas: money, career, body health, love, relationship. And I said, pick the area. I call it your sticky wicket, your area that is not going so well for you, or you want to up level. Don't pick the area that you're really great at. Well, I said, it's only going to take you 5 minutes a day and you're going to have huge results. I promise you. After a year, only one person did it. One. It fell flat on its face. And I was like, oh my gosh, what did I do? So I go back to the powers to be. I'm like, these were highly motivated people. I told them it was going to change their lives. It was going to make huge difference. 5 minutes a day. I remember sitting down with one of my professors, Dr. Kendrick from Temple University. And he said, well, of course they're not, Sandy. I go, what? No one's going to spend 5 minutes a day to improve their life if it's not already a behavior they have, a belief they have. It has to be something they already created. I go, why'd you let me do this? He said, well, you had to find out for yourself. But if you make it for only 1 to 3 minutes a day, they'll do it. They will take 1 to 3 minutes a day if the habit's not already formed to see if it works. So I go back again. And this time it worked. People were willing to take 1 to 3 minutes a day to get them in the headset. Now, they could take more after that, but what this was to get them to believe how truly powerful they are, that they can, in a few minutes a day, decide how they want to show up in the world so that they can be not always, this is not about always being hippy, skippy, happy all the time, but that they're there more and they know they're when they're not. And so they get to decide, yes, you are more in control than you think. Do I want to take action from this place? Is this where I want to show up in the world? So that's why today, the biggest thing that I want to tell people, even if they try it for the next 30 days, before your feet hit the floor, even taking 30 seconds, everything I'm telling you today is not time consuming. Decide how you want to show up in the world. Pick one word. You can change it the next day. You could have it for the next 30 days. And then check in with yourself every hour. Am I coming from ease and flow? Am I coming from peace? Am I coming from calm? And if not, what could I do to shift out of that? And if I'm not, do I really want to walk into that meeting, send that email, talk to my spouse, talk to my kids? You get to decide. Now, hey, ask my family. That method can go out the window at any given time because we are human. But just recognize when you aren't there so that you can happen more to life.
Sandy, we lost you again. Are you still
Oh my
there?
goodness, I got to end. So the only thing you want to say to yourself is, do you want to take action from that so that every day you get to decide, are you happening to life? That's why if you say, life doesn't happen to me, I happen to life, and then have the tagline, when anybody tells you all the reasons why you shouldn't act a certain way or be a certain way, or why it can't happen to you because there's millions of people starting businesses or podcasts or authors, you look them right in the eyes and you say, are you really sure? Are you really sure it can't happen for me? Because I happen to life.
Wow. Allow me to give you an applause. Thank you so much, Sandy. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
these inspiring words. I would have one question for you because you mentioned the 1 to 3 minutes in the morning, which I
Yes.
fully agree, they are essential. Do you think that we can apply this technique in all the areas of our life whenever we want to change some aspects of that part of our life? And I will explain in the sense that if I don't know, if I want to change, for example, a behavior that I'm having around money or around my business or around how many tasks I am doing, do you think it's enough 3 minutes per day to start doing that change so that afterwards I can spend more into that way of doing things?
I love that question. Yes. So I want to back up with something. I actually think I froze on it, so we'll go over it again. You could break it out more, but let's just pick again the 3 areas of your life. I always like to do it. Money, career, right? Big area. Money, career, your body, your health, love, relationship. If you just focus on one area for the next 30 days, the other ones are come along. Because people will say, well, they all need to be upskilled. No, if you are laser focused just on one area, it will come along. And take that area, like I said, visualize the word that how you want to show up in that area, and write in a journal or anything that you have your game plan, which won't take you more than a minute or 3 minutes. And if you take the time every day to go back every hour and say, am I reaching my goal? Am I doing the action? Is this really what I want? Is this motivating me? How much energy am I willing to do in it? Then after that, anything you do, like you said, that comes along, you will be coming from that powerful space. So that's why I say, yes, just take that 1 to 3 minutes to get in that headspace, have your game plan, how you want to show up in that area, and then the actions that come along. You might spend an hour, you might spend 20 minutes, you might spend 5 minutes, but it's going to come from that powerful place. Like there's 2 places, either love-based or fear-based, and you want to come more from that love-based. So yes, absolutely, hands down. People will say, oh, it's impossible, it can't just change my life. Yeah, it can, because you're starting out your day that way, and you're just refocusing for a minute. Like I do dance resets every hour for 1 minute. I get up and dance around. You have no idea how much it shifts your energy. Because if you just sit there, Zoom call after Zoom call or phone call after phone call, you could get drained. But even just getting up once every hour, opening the door, breathing for a minute, those little things we think can't have a huge impact, but they do. So you take that, and then you're going to be taking action from that place. And if it is that, oh, it's about your body and you do work out for an hour that day, great. Or you want to change your career, so you do reach out to 10 people that day, great. But you came from that powerful place that you set an intention on in the morning, just for a few minutes.
I love that. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you so much. And I'm going to do it as well. I love dancing, and I know that I am not moving enough, and it always raises my energy. And I wanted to ask you, how do we do it actually? How do we stay aware on the fact that we have to check up with ourselves? Because this is my experience, when we get caught into all the things that we have to do, we kind of forget of ourselves. We forget of, okay, let me go back and analyze. How do we do that?
So I do think the most important thing is doing a check in the morning, like start in the morning before your feet hit the ground, about deciding a word. Now, until it's a habit, you might forget some days, but try just something that doesn't take any extra time. And then even if you can take a minute or find a journal or anything that is going to remind you of what you want to, what your attention is.
We are losing you.
All right. And tell me when you find me again. Hello, I'm here.
You're back.
So that's okay. So I must have needed to repeat it. Take that minute just to write down, even just one time, and look at it and remind you. You don't have to keep rewriting it if you don't want. Just remind yourself, put it somewhere where you have your game plan to remind yourself of what you want, your goal, what action you're taking, and put it everywhere to remind yourself. And then I like setting an alarm. You might have heard it go off. That was my hour alarm to remind myself, where am I? Just sitting with your body. It doesn't need like being mindful. It's just sitting with your body and doing a check of where are you? Oh, my neck is a little tight, because your body will tell you. And then asking yourself what you can do. Now, if you're at work, It might be you just go up, walk to the bathroom, come back, take a deep breath in. But doing that check and setting that alarm until the habits form. Now, once you got the habit, then you can go to the next level, but you want to keep doing it over and over again, little things. And the biggest thing, if you could do this, it would be awesome, is to have an accountability partner. Somebody, like, I see that this works triple time when somebody has a friend that they say, hey, let's do this for the next 30 days. And they check in with each other. An accountability partner will take you to the next level.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sandy. Thank you for being today with me and sharing all of this knowledge with us, because I believe that if we apply this every day, we are going to be happier and more successful in our life and in our businesses. Thank you once again for being today with me.
By the way, I wanted to tell you, if they go to my website, I put on for this event, sandyjoyweston.com, there's a pop-up for a free game plan so they can download it. I'm going to have it there for the next 30 days.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.